What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Evan and I make videos about hot stocks, dividends, and options. So if that interests you guys, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss when I upload. Now in today's video, we're going to go over if NIO is still a buy and whether you should buy NIO leading up to NIO Day, which is actually on Saturday, January 9th, which is this coming weekend. But before we actually jump into the video, if you guys wouldn't mind going down and hitting the like button, I would really appreciate it, and it really does help out the channel, and it lets me know that you guys enjoy these video updates every day. So again, if you guys wouldn't mind going down and hitting the like button, I would really appreciate it. But with that out of the way, to give you guys some context of where NIO is trading at today, they're actually slightly in the red as of right now. Now they opened this morning right around 5% in the red, and they've slowly been climbing up through most of the trading day. And just within the last 20 or 30 minutes, they were actually about even, and they were trading right at that neutral area. But now they've kind of pulled back again, and they're down right around 0.5%. And they're trading at that $53 area. Now we saw this same area yesterday, and that was due in part to the delivery numbers that NIO actually released yesterday. And so if you guys missed yesterday's video, I basically went over their delivery numbers and how they've been increasing these deliveries month after month and quarter after quarter, and how almost every time they have delivery number records, we see NIO's share price jump up. And so this does kind of explain why NIO is down a slight bit today, because there was all that buildup yesterday and there was a lot of investors pooling into NIO. And because some of them secured some profits, that's part of the reason why NIO pulled back a slight bit today. But again, they're starting to climb back up and they're right around that neutral area, because right around 0.5 in the red isn't too bad for NIO. And of course, we know they can have huge jumps in just a single day. So even though they're not really up today, it's really not a bad day for NIO trading. Now in the 1 week, you can see that NIO is up right around 14%. And this shows you just how much they actually jumped yesterday when the news came out about their deliveries. They were trading on an upwards trend, but it wasn't too drastic. And then yesterday, delivery numbers come out and NIO sees a massive jump upwards. And now you can see they're kind of consolidating around this $53 area, which I don't think is a bad spot to be at, all things considered, and looking at how much NIO had dropped in the past month or so. Now speaking of the past month, this is kind of where you can see where NIO's been more volatile. Now we are starting to get past that volatility here, but you can still kind of see where they've been up and down. And if we were to take a look at a couple weeks even previous to this, you would see how NIO was on a constant downwards trend. And so a big part of why they're actually up over 18% and they're climbing up towards that 20% gain in this previous month is because they were down so much. Because I'm sure a lot of you guys follow NIO pretty closely, and you probably know that they actually hit over 57 as their all-time high. And so to see them start climbing back up towards that all-time high, of course it's going to be a resistance level, but I wouldn't be surprised to see NIO break through that pretty soon and then hopefully use that as support. But now to kind of get into the meat of this video, and that's whether NIO stock is a buy ahead of NIO Day. And we're going to go over all the details that you kind of need to know and what could happen with NIO Day that could potentially push their share price up even after NIO Day. Now, of course, we know a stock like NIO has seen pretty phenomenal gains in just the past year. And a lot of these gains have been in the last 6 months alone. And with NIO being up 1,112%, a lot of investors are thinking that NIO could be at the top. And all of this run up could lead to NIO pulling back a substantial amount. But I personally don't think that's going to be reality, especially with the things that we have to look forward to like NIO Day. Because we know NIO Day is this Saturday, which is only in a few days here. And then after that, the next thing to look forward to is fourth quarter earnings, which is in February. And so with these things that are going to be pretty big catalysts for NIO's share price, I don't think, at least in the short term, NIO is going to see any drastic pullbacks. But with the question on the table of whether you should invest in NIO before NIO Day, of course it is up to you as an individual, but I'm going to go over a few of the things that they're going to be announcing on NIO Day that really could help sway your mind, and it could possibly give you a new perspective, especially if you've never seen a NIO Day event in the past. Now, the first major thing to mention is that NIO is actually going to be introducing their first sedan model, because we know that NIO has only been producing SUVs in the past. And so to finally see them putting out a sedan, not only is it a good thing for NIO and NIO investors, but it's also going to help NIO compete more with Tesla, because the sedan model is supposed to help NIO compete with the Tesla Model 3, I believe. And if you guys remember the analyst from Deutsche Bank, Edison Yu, he also expects that the new sedan is going to be aimed at a mid-size premium segment. And it's also going to be the first NIO vehicle built on the EV maker's next generation NP2 platform. And if you guys aren't familiar with the NP2 platform, that's NIO Pilot, and it's actually their second generation of NIO Pilot. And you could kind of compare NIO Pilot to Tesla's Autopilot. It basically uses cameras and different sensors to allow the vehicle to drive on its own. Now, of course, right now we don't have full self-driving vehicles, but with this improvement on the NIO Pilot technology, and once laws are implemented, eventually we will see full self-driving vehicles, and NIO could be one of the first to do it. Now, I'm guessing Tesla is going to obviously be the first, looking at how many vehicles they have on the road, and really how much data they've collected from all these vehicles and these users driving their vehicles. But I definitely wouldn't take NIO out of the drawing, and I think that they are one of those companies that could be one of those top and possibly one of the first to allow full self-driving vehicles on the road. But getting back to the sedan model that's going to be released, it's going to be called the EE7. And although there's no official specs that have been provided yet, the analyst Edison Yu anticipates that a Eurocentric styling with a sporty front grille, long wheelbase, and fast acceleration are going to be a big part of this design of this new sedan model. And the production is slated to begin in Q4 of 2021 or possibly early 2022. Now, I know recently NIO actually said that they were hoping to mass produce this vehicle by the end of 2021, and I think a lot of people were kind of getting their hopes up, and me included, that this new sedan could be released sometime in mid-2021. Now, it looks like that's unlikely to be the case, and it's likely going to be released in the end of Q4. But I think this is definitely a step in the right direction, especially that it's going to give NIO a new edge and help them compete even closer with Tesla. Now, another big thing that's going to happen on NIO Day is NIO is probably going to mention their production of the Mobileye. And if you guys aren't familiar with Mobileye, they're basically working with Intel to create robotaxis that can basically self-drive and bring people around, pretty much like Uber without the Uber driver. Now, again, they need to get approved and the laws need to be in place that allow for self-driving vehicles. But this is definitely where electric vehicles are going, and especially where the automotive industry is headed, because it makes transportation so much easier if all these vehicles can communicate, because then there's not going to be any crashes or accidents. Now, of course, early on, there's going to be problems that have to be worked through, but hopefully at some point in the future, with all the self-driving and autonomous vehicles that will be on the road, it should make transportation easier and a lot more convenient for most people. Now, it is kind of scary to look at where technology has come from and where it's going to go, but it's pretty much inevitable that this is going to happen. And so a company like NIO and Tesla, when they're getting ahead of the curve and they're implementing these kinds of things so early on, it really does give them an edge, and it should help boost up both of their companies a substantial amount in the future. So again, that's one thing to look out for on NIO Day. And NIO also says that their platform is going to enable level 4 autonomy in 2022. And this is also going to come with 5G and V2X connectivity. Now again, it is dependent on when this is allowed and when full self-driving is going to be legal. But again, all these companies that are getting ahead of the curve and implementing these things early on, they're going to have that upper hand when all this is legal and when we have full self-driving vehicles on the road. But aside from their self-driving, one other big thing to watch out for is their battery swap technology. Now, we know that they already have battery swap stations around China, but they're going to be releasing their 2.0 version of the battery swap technology. And this is basically going to make it faster and cheaper than their current stations. And they're also going to introduce a 150 kilowatt hour battery pack. And this should eventually be available for their existing models. And so if you have their 70, 84 kilowatt, or even 100 kilowatt hour battery, at some point in the future, you should be able to upgrade to this 150 kilowatt hour battery. And with that bigger battery comes a larger range. And with that, they should acquire more customers in the future, because these customers that maybe live in apartment complexes, they don't have to charge as often. And especially if they're not able to charge as often, they may be more likely to buy an electric vehicle if it has a range of around 600 miles. And going back to Edison Yu, he still rates NIO a buy. And with the recent strong rally, he's also pushed his stock price slightly above $50. Now, of course, we know NIO is trading above $50 right now, and they're trading right around that $53 area. But this is taking into consideration all the things that make up a stock price. And it's not necessarily taking into consideration all the future technology that NIO could be implementing even within the next year or two. So at least in my opinion, I think NIO is really going to increase in this next year, all throughout 2021. And whether you want to invest in NIO before NIO Day, that's really up to you. But I think with all these things considered and all the things NIO is going to be announcing on NIO Day, you could argue that it's already priced into their share price, but I think that we're still going to see a big bump in their share price after NIO Day. So the following Monday, after this Saturday, I think we could see a bump in their share price as long as everything generally goes how they planned. And again, you never really know with a company like NIO, they could announce something spectacular and we could see a huge shoot up in their share price. But I think as long as everything goes as planned, we should see a slight bump in their price the following Monday and possibly into that next week. But I want to hear what you guys think down in the comments and whether you guys are investing in NIO leading up to NIO Day and if you think they're going to spike after NIO Day. Now personally, I think they're going to see a slight bump in their price, and that's considering the fact that it's not already priced into their share price. Because even though it is in just a few days, I think they still have a bit more to run up. And I do think if their event goes as planned, we should see a nice bump in their share price into next week. Now again, this is all speculation and I'm not a financial advisor, and you guys should do your own research on NIO. But with all things considered, I think that's a likely outcome, and especially looking at past catalysts that have pushed up NIO's share price. But again, let me know what you guys think down in the comments and what you think is going to happen with NIO's share price leading up to NIO Day and what you think might happen after the event. Also, if you guys haven't signed up for Webull, make sure you guys sign up using the link in the description, and when you sign up and deposit $100, you'll get 4 free stocks now. And this promotion does end soon, so make sure you guys get your free stocks before it's over. And if you guys want to join the Discord, I have a link down in the description, and I'm also going to pin the top comment down in the comment section. And so you guys can join that and discuss with like-minded people, whether that be about NIO, different EV stocks, or just whatever you want to discuss. So again, if you guys want to join that, it's totally free. And if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like because it really does help out the channel. And with that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you back here in the next one. Bye.